Processing Matters, Last Call for Plastisol and Rock Hill Screen Printing. We are live on the YouTubes and the Insta chats, Instagrams, Snap Faces, Face Chats, Tickety Talks, whatever you want to say. We're not on any of those. We're on Facebook. No, we're not even Facebook. What are we on? We're on YouTube and Instagram. Welcome to the show, everybody. Hey, today we are sponsored by the Print Homie Playbook that's taking place May 1st and 2nd at Rock Hill Screen Printing. Print Homie Playbook is the ultimate place to get up to speed, to get amplified, level up your screen printing processes, your efficiency, your productivity, and your profitability. Specifically with Print Profit. So here's a little thing on Print Profit. Profit isn't luck, it's strategy. Nick, the founder of Print Profit, has worked with HP Heidelberg and Mimeo to crack the code on profitability in print. Now he's helping shops like you stop guessing and start growing. Nick will be at the Print Homie Playbook. His name is, he said, pronounce it like garlic with a Boston accent. So Nick Golick will be there. He's wicked smart. But yeah, he'll be teaching. Yeah, there's a lot of benefits to attending something like this. Elephant in the room, yes, it costs money. But we are bringing in some of the best professionals in the industry to not only tell us about things that they offer, but also educate us on how we can do things to change our shops to be better. You're not going to hear a sales pitch. You're going to get straight up education in a classroom setting, in an intimate classroom setting, which is important, and probably no max than 15 people at a time in a class. We're capping the entire show at event at 50 people, 50 shops. So yeah, if you're slow right now, if you're struggling with profitability, chances are, you should have been on top of that 6 months ago instead of right now. So this is the time to get educated and leveled up for the future by investing a couple $100 to learn from the best and prep yourself for that next slow time. So yeah, definitely check out the Print Homie Playbook. lastcallforplastisol.com/events. It's the Print Homie Playbook. All right. So we've been kind of going over these questions about how to identify challenges and then tackle them with solutions. Today, there's a couple things we could talk about. I think the biggest one right now is that I'm actually seeing from friends in the industry. I've gotten a call earlier this week just asking how we were doing. Talked to another buddy yesterday, asked him how he was doing. Everyone's kind of in this we're surviving and it's okay kind of mode. Seems to be nationwide. So it's not, if you feel like you're in that boat, you're not alone. But there's also shops that don't feel like that way. I think those are few. They might say that they are good and they might not be just because of pride. But whatever the case, I think a lot of shops are going through hard times right now. I'm sure that it has everything to do with people spending money, companies spending money. But I bet it also has to do with the fact that people weren't as prepared as they ought to be coming into this year, just because last year was kind of weird. Sometimes it was good, sometimes it was not so great. And you kind of start to get in this mindset where you expect the same every year. And heck, let's face it, some of you guys might just be like, January slow, February slow, and it's perfect time to take a vacation. It's perfect time to, it is what it is. And then something like this happens, and then you're like, oh crap, it's worse. So I'm talking to these shops who have 30 employees. I'm talking to shops who may have 10 employees. We're at, I think, 14 in-house with a couple virtual. And we've actually, I guess we went to short hours 1 week this month so far, or last month. And actually since January, since the beginning of the year, we went to short hours 1 week. We're back up to normal hours, but we do have less people. I think I talked about that last time. So we decided that if someone were to leave, we're not going to replace them right now. We're going to do the things that we can do to fill in for those people with less people doing more work, but then people get to keep their hours. So I see a lot of shops going that way. So how do you get to a point where you're comfortable having the slowdowns? I think we've talked about this before. You got to have your processes in place. You got to have a clean, efficient, well-oiled machine in your production. That's step number one, or a step. Maybe not even number one, but that's one step. Dialing in your processes, making sure that there is zero downtime related to unnecessary things. There's all kinds of things that you could have downtime for. Screens being bad, ink being bad, separations being bad. The list goes on and on. On-press problems, artwork problems, wrong information from the customer, poor communication between departments, wrong stuff being ordered, bad products coming in, lack of quality control. All of these things contribute to, being down in the shop at some point, being slower stopping points in production. It's less about, hey, my dryer's not big enough to run an auto with or anything like that. You should tackle those things too. But there's ways around those things, but just better processes, smarter way of planning, smarter way of printing, and more control and understanding where things are at in the process. That is, again, like I said, one step to improving things. Second thing might be your art department. Again, are you getting the right information? Is that information correct? Is it enough? Is it, is it an artwork thing? Is it actually good art? Is it bad art? What are you doing in those situations? Are you outsourcing art? Are they slowing you down? Those types of things. Dialing in your art room might be another solution. Using software differently, tracking things differently, eliminating the unnecessary things in your production, in your art room, in your screen room. Automating processes, all of those things come into consideration. Lean manufacturing practices. How many steps are we taking to tape a screen? How many steps are we taping to print a shirt? How many steps are we taking to the dryer? All these different things. You can start to dial in your processes, get them lean and mean and running good, to get ahead of the game, right? If you can do more with less people, if you have those things in place and running very well. The other thing is just, are you, for the sales side of things, are you reaching out to people that need to be reached out to in the times that they need to be reached out to? How do you know that information? How do you know what sells good this time of year? Are we relying on factual information for your company? Or are you relying on information from just what, in your head, what makes sense for this time of year? How are you knowing when the last time somebody placed an order? How are you knowing if that person, what that person spends, what that company spends? How are you knowing what maybe potential outreach opportunities you have 3 months from now? Those things are important too. How are you doing that? These are things that you can use, you can do to everything that you need to do to prepare yourself for slow time. I'm not the greatest at sales, but it makes sense to have those things all dialed in ahead of time to get better at the slow times of the year. Should not slow down, technically. And I don't think it's 100% related to the economy. A lot of people can blame it on the presidency and all that stuff. I don't think that's the answer either. We went and saw an economist at ThreadX last year. I believe he was at Print Hustlers. You listen to the things he has to say about trends over the last 6, 7, 8 years. The economy's been on a steady rise. It's not been, the only anomaly that's happened is COVID, and it rebounded really fast. And what was interesting is basically the shape of this microphone here is that was going way up, and then obviously it shot way down for COVID, and then within, I don't know, less than a year, it spiked way back up above what the current trend was, and then came back down and kind of evened out and is now continuing on here. So there's like that gap in between that was 2020, 2021 COVID that kind of was like a heartbeat, and went down and up. And then now it's back to where it left off at. And it's not slowing down. And you start to see the data from elections. Every election, people think, there's this media hype, there's this mindset that, oh no, it all depends on the election, whether or not we buy or spend money. Well, that's just a mindset people have. It's not factual. There's no numbers that support it. Things stay the same. Nobody goes drastically out of business in like massive chunks because of an election. Changes in all the things that happen in politics take a really long time. You may not feel the effects of these tariffs for another 6 months, because of all the time that it takes to get that stuff implemented. So, panicking now is not the way to go. You need to be prepared. You need to get better educated. You need to start to invest in the things that you need to do to prepare yourself 6 months from now. Not try to put Band-Aids on things now. So that's kind of the thing, the lesson for today is the problems that you're having today could have been fixed 3 months ago, 6 months ago. Why not start to invest in things that you can get further along in 6 months from now, 3 months from now, so that you're prepared. Boy Scouts say be prepared, right? So this is the simple message for today is, are you prepared, and what are you doing to get prepared? The Print Profit guy will help you with all of the things we talked about, with knowing the customers and sales and numbers and what they actually mean and what your break-even point is and all the profitability and all that stuff. They will help you with that. So will the people coming to teach on the production side. Austin from Stacked, Dylan from Upstate Merch, all these guys that are coming in that know how to run a shop, that have had experience in it and gotten ahead, and lots of tips and tricks, lots of education on how to run your shop more efficiently and better. And also just some of the vendors that are coming and the places you get to go. US Colorworks. Get to go on a tour of that, see Fulfill Engine in action. You'd be surprised that Fulfill Engine, they're using it. People think just print on demand. They're using it to run their whole dang shop in basically invoice replacement program. So did you know you could do that? Let's go see it in action. Maybe it's something we can use. So lots of reasons to attend the Print Homie Playbook. It's like I said, we are charging. You're paying for these professionals to be there. All the food, it's an all-inclusive event. All the foods, drinks, everything's provided. The tours are provided. The bus, all that stuff costs money. Everything costs money. So it is an investment, but I think it'll be well worth it. And that's not just because I'm a salesperson or anything, because I'm not, or a podcast host or anything like that. I believe it. It's why we're doing better than most. And we wanted to share that with you guys. So that's the goal, help you guys get better. So if you haven't already, you should go over to lastcallforplasticell.com/events, check out the details on the Print Homie Playbook, and invest in your business. Do it today. There's only 50 spots total for the entire show. It's in Charlotte, right outside Charlotte. It's not that far from you East Coasters. Don't have to go to California or Texas or any of those places. Arizona, I think there's one now, Atlantic City. This isn't a trade show. This is an educational event where you're going to walk away with the playbook that's going to make you better at running your shop. So that's Pressing Matters for today. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. And until next time, cheers.